All right, Shalom Yasharallah. Before we get started, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. We're back with another video, another lesson. All right, and this is going to be a prophecy watch. Excuse me, a prophecy watch. Israel strikes Iran. All right, and that's breaking news. Okay, I got articles. All right, from different like end time headlines, People's Voice. All right, it's in the I don't know if it's in the major news, but it's definitely out there. This is from end time headlines. Israel launches preemptive strikes against Iran, which is June 12, 2025. Today is the 13th. So that was yesterday. It says, according to a new report, Israel has launched what it called preemptive strikes against Iran, and a state of emergency has been declared in Israel, according to the country's defense minister, Israel Katz. Following the state of Israel's preemptive strike against Iran, a missile and drone attack against the state of Israel and its civilian population is expected in the immediate future. Katz said in a statement. Wow, that's it? Okay. All right. I guess that was it for this one. Let's read this. It said, matter of fact, let's open another window up and go to the People's Voice. Okay. This one says, Palantir CEO tells Americans to get ready for a three-front war with Russia, China, and Iran. Ooh. I wasn't planning on reading this, but we'll read that. We can read that, Lord willing. Just open another tab. We'll read this one. It says, Israel has launched an unprecedented attack against Iran and has declared a state of emergency as it braces for retaliation. According to the Israeli military, a preemptive, precise, combined offensive base, offensive based on high-quality intelligence had been launched. The attack, involving dozens of airstrikes, was called Operation Rising Lion. In a statement, the IDF said dozens of IAF jets completed the first stage that included strikes on dozens of military targets, including nuclear targets in different areas of Iran. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has warned Israel that it, in quote, must expect severe punishment. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says America was not involved and that Israel believes the strikes are necessary for its self-defense. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the attack was to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival and will last for as many days as it takes to remove the threat. Iranian state media reported the head of the country's powerful Revolutionary Guard, Hassan Salami, had been killed. Nuclear scientist, Farideh Dawn Abbasi, not the best, reader, and theoretical physicist Dr. Mohammed Mehdi Taranki was also reported to have died in Mer News. State media reported explosions northeast of capital Tehran early on Friday, and said buildings belonging to the armed forces were hit in the Mahalati complex north of the city. The country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, warned of severe punishment and claimed residential areas had been targeted. In the enemy's attacks, a number of commanders and scientists were martyred. Their successors and colleagues will immediately continue their duties, said a statement reported by the Tasnim news agency. The International Atomic Watchdog, the IAEA, said Iran's uranium enrichment facility at Natanz in central Isfahan province was one of the facilities targeted, and that is in contact with Iranian authorities about radiation levels. The exact locations of the other cities, Salaki, of the other sites attacked are still to be confirmed. A special state of emergency is now in effect in Israel, said its defense minister, who warned a missile and drone attack is expected, all right, in the immediate future. Okay, so we seeing that the you know wars and rumors of wars is coming to pass. Excuse me, still under the weather a little bit, but yeah, we expecting in prophecy to move. Let's read that real quick since I brought it up. All right, wars and rumors of wars. This is Matthew 24, and I'm gonna start at verse 4, and it says, "And Yahushua answered and said unto them," he was speaking to the disciples that became apostles. He said, "Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences." "And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." And we're in the beginning stages of Esau's kingdom falling. All right. And this is just a start. Wars happening. All right. We can read this. Let's read this now. Iranian retaliatory strikes against Israel begins. It says Iran's much anticipated retaliation commenced on Friday night with the launch of hundreds of ballistic missiles targeting Israel, as confirmed by the Israel Defense Forces. The skies over Israel were illuminated by the detonation of missiles, and smoke was observed rising from Tel Aviv as the nation's missile defense systems engaged to counter the assault. The current state of Iran's military capability appears significantly compromised. However, the international community closely monitors the potential extent of Tehran's response to this situation. Following a significant military campaign by Israel that resulted in the deaths of key Iranian generals, the destruction of nuclear facilities, and the dismantling of missile bases, Iran has publicly vowed to retaliate. Nevertheless, uncertainties loom regarding Iran's remaining operational capacities, given the extensive damage to its essential infrastructure and the loss of much of its military leadership. In contrast, Israel has demonstrated substantial proficiency in executing precise strikes against critical Iranian assets, aided by its superior air force, robust missile defenses, and extensive intelligence capabilities. And this proves that these aren't the true people, okay? Because in the curses, it said we will have no might in our hand. These people have, the what's that called? The Iron Dome. They got military defense. They getting money from these different countries. They getting military aid, right? It says Iran, despite its weakened state, continues to exert influence through regional proxy groups such as Hezbollah and the Houthis, and entities that could facilitate a symmetrical retaliation. As developments unfold, a pivotal inquiry emerges. What will the next course of action entail, and can it be executed in a manner that prevents a broader escalation into full-scale conflict? Earlier today, former President Donald Trump issued a warning regarding the likelihood of intensified Israeli military actions against Iran, advising Tehran to negotiate a settlement before it is too late. In a statement on Truth Social on Friday, he disclosed that he provided Iran with a 2-month ultimatum, which has now elapsed. All right, and let's get one real quick. This is gonna be Ezekiel 38, which you go through all the time. which I'll probably do a video on, Lord willing, and break it down. Ezekiel 38:1, and the word of the Lord. This is prophecy about Gog and future invasion of Israel. Right? And what is Gog? Gog is Russia. It says, and the word of the Lord Yahweh, that's his name, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, okay, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, right? And say, thus said the Lord Yahweh, all right, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. So the Lord is against them, but he's obviously using them, all right, in end time prophecy, which today that's speaking about Russia, all right, in that area. Verse 4, now turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, all right, go and put them back in that Soviet Union spirit. It says, now bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, right? It says, Persia, which is Iran today, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer, which I believe Gomer is Turkey, and all his bands, the house, or I may be wrong, I think Gomer is, Gomer, it may be, I think it is Turkey, and all his bands, the house of Togarma, which I believe that's Germany, you know, of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And the Russia's going to be a guard unto these people. And let me try to get a map, all right, of Gog and Magog. See, yeah, that's the one I like. So you got Magog, which is Russia, that area. You got Cush, which is Ethiopia. You got Libya. You got Persia, which is Iran. All right, got Gomer. So you got Togarma. Oh, so Togarma is Turkey. All right, Togarma is Turkey. Gomer is like in this area near Russia, not Russia, near Germany. Okay, and I'm gonna use this as a thumbnail if I can. Come on, bro. All right. So, yeah, you see the map. Salakia. You saw the map there. Okay. Gog and Magog. Right? Let's go back to the article. Because I got one. From right here, it says Russia strongly condemns, all right, Israel's unprovoked and illegal attack on Iran. Now I'll read a little bit. It says Russia has strongly condemned Israel's unprovoked airstrikes on Iran, saying they were illegal. In a statement on Friday, the Russian foreign minister said the attack violated both the UN Charter and international law, and warned that the operation could trigger a dangerous escalation across the Middle East. The Russian President Vladimir Putin also condemned the Israeli attack and extended his condolences to Iran, according to Kremlin press service. Salakia. Salakia, let me read that again. The Russian President Vladimir Putin also condemned the Israeli attack and extended his condolences to Iran, according to the Kremlin press service. The strikes carried out by the Israel Defense Force happened early Friday and reportedly targeted, all right, Iranian military and nuclear sites. According to Iranian media outlets, the attack killed several senior officials, including Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Commander Hassan Salami and Deputy Chief of the Army General Staff, all right, Gholam Ali Rashid. At least 6 nuclear scientists were also reported among the dead. All right, you can read the rest. I'll put the link in the description. So, yeah, people were killed in that. You know, top generals of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. You know, so yeah, they definitely gonna retaliate. All right, and let's get another one. Let's get Jeremiah. Okay. This is the book of Jeremiah 51. Matter of fact, before we read that, let's read 49. All right, because eventually America will be drawn into this. Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." Who's the least of the flock? Speaking about Israel. All right, he's going to draw out these nations to go to war. And he's going to draw out America to go to war. All right, you get this word least. All right, this word least. Tazayar. All right, it says little, insignificant, young. All right, little, insignificant, young, younger, youngest. All right. So the least of the flock, the small hats, the state of Israel is going to draw out America and these other nations to war. All right, now let's get to Jeremiah 51, if we can, and 27. It says, "Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her, call together against the kingdoms of Ararat," which is Turkey, Mini, all right, and Ashkenaz, which Mini is Armenia, and Ashkenaz is, I believe that's Germany. It says, "Appoint a captain against her." Who's going to be that captain? We're going to read it. "Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes." The kings of the Medes are the Russians. "The captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord Yahweh shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant." Okay, so eventually America's gonna be destroyed. All right, and Israel's gonna be invaded, and that's gonna be destroyed too. But Israel's gonna be built back up, because that's our homeland. But America will not be built back up. America's gonna be a desolation. It's gonna be a desert land. Okay, let's read Joel. Matter of fact, let's read Revelation 20 and 8. I'll start at 7. It says, now we read Revelation, the 20th chapter. This jumps around in different times, but that's another video for another day. It says, "And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison." Now this isn't talking about the spiritual demon Satan. Let's look at the word Satan, all right, so I can show you. This word Satan in the Greek is Satanas, and it means adversary, one who opposes another in purpose or act. The name given to, all right, the prince of evil spirits, and the inveterate adversary of the Most High, and Yahushai. All right. Now there's a spiritual demon Satan, but I'm sorry. There's a spiritual demon Satan, but there's also down here it says a Satan-like man who comes in the spirit of him. All right, now it's talking about Esau, Edom. So this Satan is speaking of speaking of Esau, when he was up in those Caucasus mountains for 1,000 years. When 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So they're going to go out to battle, man. "And they went out on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about in the beloved city, the Israelites, and Jerusalem. And fire came down from the Most High out of heaven, and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them, which is Esau, was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast is, the beast system, and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever." Which is going to be for a period of time. All right. They're not going to literally burn, forever and ever and ever. All right. But let's get this Joel 3. Before we get that, let's get Revelation 11 and 14. And it says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And as you see, it's on the way. All right, prophecy is moving, man. Okay, we just waiting now. Now we're just waiting on the mark of the beast, the MOTB. All right, but before that, we got Jacob's trouble to happen. So hey, the Lord is definitely moving. Prophecy is definitely happening. All right, we giving you the warning. You can't say you didn't know. You can't say you wasn't warned, because we warning you right now. All right, let's get Joel 3. In verse 9, it says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." Okay? Now these the weaker nations, now they have military power. Now they have nuclear weapons. Now they have, tanks and all that. And they're backed up by, different nations. Like Russia. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat," which is, in the Hebrew, is Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment. "For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, is near in the valley of decision." All right. In World War III, the Armageddon is almost here. Well, it's here, but it's not on a big scale yet. I'll read a little bit of this. It says, "Palantir CEO Alex Karp has issued a chilling warning to Americans. A global conflict involving Russia, China, and Iran is not just possible, it's inevitable." And disturbingly, he delivered the message with a smile. "The concept of fighting on multiple fronts has been a nightmare scenario for military strategists. History warns against the dangers. Nations that divide their forces across two or more fronts usually face disaster. Despite this, globalist warmongers like Karp and Senator Lindsey Graham are now pushing for U.S. involvement in not just two, but three simultaneous conflicts. Oh my goodness. In fact, Karp, the CEO of the data mining software company Palantir, which is known for its work in defense and intelligence, appears to be thrilled with the idea of sparking World War III. That just made me think of something. Is it Psalms? Is it 55? Psalms 55 and 21. "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war, was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords." So war is in his heart, which your heart is your mind. Let's read that again. Let's go back. It says, in fact, Karp, the CEO of data mining software company Palantir, which is known for its work in defense and intelligence, appears to be thrilled with the idea of sparking World War III, while suggesting the Pentagon should continue developing autonomous weapons at full speed. He brought up an odd perspective. You can go more into it if you like. I just want to read a little bit. Okay, so we here, man. All right, that time is getting closer. Each and every day each day that goes past, we move closer and closer to Jacob's trouble. We move closer to the mark of the beast. We move closer to World War III, and the most important prophecy, the return of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, the White House fears that Iran has capability to overwhelm Israel's Iron Dome. You can read that if you want to read on that. You can. I'll put the link in the description. So prophecy watch: Israel strikes Iran. All right, and we seeing the wars break out. All right, and best believe it's gonna be more and more to come. So, Lord willing, it was edifying, and you brothers and you sisters got something out of it. We gonna give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the full elect. Till next video, I'm gonna say, Shalom.